Welcome to the Veteran Entrepreneur Network. I'm your host, Cameron Burrell, Army engineer veteran, entrepreneur, and fleet operations business owner. On this podcast, we talk trucking, logistics, fleet operations, entrepreneurship, business growth, leadership, and real-world lessons from the field. Let's get into today's episode. Picture a yard at 6 a.m. Trucks lined up like soldiers, cabs locked, engines quiet, drivers on a break. I'm walking between trailers and I count 20 rigs that won't move for the next 3 or 4 hours. Each one is a machine that earns or loses money the minute it's idle. The thing is, that idle time doesn't have to be a black hole. It's an opportunity. I've stood in yards like that and thought, what if we could turn those parked hours into reliable revenue instead of just wasted space and lost cash flow? That's what we're fixing today. Here's the promise for the next 10 minutes. I'll give you a compact operational and sales framework to launch or scale an on-site fleet washing service. You'll get the economic math you need, the compliance and equipment basics to stay legal and safe, operations and staffing tactics for consistent quality, and a simple sales playbook to start landing recurring contracts. No fluff, just practical steps you can act on this week. Section 1. Economics and Compliance. If you skip these, you'll either leave money on the table or open your business to fines. Let's start with the money. Your baseline calculation needs 3 numbers: labor minutes per truck, consumables per truck, chemicals, water where purchased, degreasers, and overhead per job, vehicle depreciation, fuel, insurance, admin. Add a target margin. For a service like this, aim for 30 to 40% gross margin on recurring contracts to absorb variable days and travel time. Price by the truck type and difficulty. A day cab is different from a sleeper or a refrigerated trailer with fleet-approved wraps. If you need a low capex entry, start with a pressure washer, a small water reclamation kit, or a simple water mat, and a compact van or pickup. Don't buy the biggest truck on day one. Run pilots with 1 technician and a portable setup. Track your actual time and consumables for 10 jobs. That real data will beat any vendor quote. When you quote recurring contracts, offer simple tiers: basic wash, quick rinse plus degrease; full detail, wheels, undercarriage, cab doors; and premium, add interior or engine bay service. Bundle discounts at 4 or 8 week cadence to lock retention. Now compliance. DOT considerations are mostly about vehicle safety, damage, and timing. You can't interfere with inspections or violate hours of service rules by keeping a truck late. Environmental compliance is where most operators trip up. Local stormwater rules and municipal discharge permits are real. The baseline approach? Minimize runoff, capture what you can, and know your municipality's permit requirements. For many yards, a simple water reclamation mat tied to a tank works. For others, you'll need a pump-over system and a holding tank with licensed disposal. Call your local environmental agency during the planning phase. It's cheap, and it avoids major headaches. Equipment choices. Prioritize mobility and reliability. A mid-range commercial pressure washer, a diesel or gas engine unit with 3,000 to 4,000 psi, a hot water option if you tackle heavy oil, and a compact reclamation solution are your starters. Don't over-engineer. You want gear that your technician can deploy in 10-15 minutes and pack up in 10. Safety checklist, PPE for crews, spill kits, clear site access plans, and lockout procedures if working near running equipment. Train everyone on vehicle proximity hazards and have a radio or phone check system. Small SOPs prevent large claims. Section 2. Operations and Staffing. If the work isn't consistent, your margins will evaporate. Start by mapping customer route windows and yard constraints. Some fleets have predictable windows, midday layovers, driver pre-trip hours, or scheduled maintenance days. Build your schedule around those predictable gaps, rather than hoping for random availability. Staffing. Begin with a 2-person crew for a predictable geographic cluster. 1 technician runs the washer and learns quality standards. The other handles traffic control, basic maintenance, and customer liaison. Quality standards. A simple checklist beats long lectures. Set 3 inspection points: pre-wash safety check, post-wash visual inspection for key touch points, wheels, side skirts, cab doors, and a photo log. Photoproof is your friend for dispute resolution and for marketing. Training. Use hands-on shadowing and a one-page SOP for every job. Don't hire upfront for growth. Hire when a pilot shows repeatable KPIs. Job time within 15%, customer satisfaction score above 85%, and predictable utilization of crew hours.
Section 3. Sales Playbook, Marketing, and the Rollout Plan. This is where you convert operations into predictable revenue. Your sales playbook is short. Target accounts within a 30-minute drive of your base. Identify the operations manager, show up with a one-page pilot offer, and demonstrate value with a live wash or a photo portfolio. Offer a 30-day pilot at a discounted rate with a clear exit clause and guaranteed performance metrics. If you can shave downtime or reduce the visual wear that triggers maintenance holds, document that impact. It closes deals.
Use simple content to win. Post short clips, before and after shots, a quick time-lapse, or a 30-second client testimonial on the platform where fleet managers hang out, LinkedIn and local Facebook groups. Tag the location, the fleet size, and the service cadence. That social proof plus a concise email with a pilot offer will get response rates higher than cold calls alone. Upsells, seasonal deep cleans, wheel and brake cleaning packages, and scheduled end-and-day services are natural adds once you're in the yard.
Recap and an actionable checklist. Here's a prioritized 30, 90, 180 plan you can start with this week. First 30 days, run 2 pilot customers with a low CAPEX setup, track time and consumables, call your local environmental office, and build a one-page SOP and photo checklist. 30 to 90 days, refine pricing from your real job data, lock 1 or 2 recurring contracts with 4 or 8-week cadences, and implement photo proof and customer reporting. 90 to 180 days, evaluate a second crew or a dedicated vehicle, formalize billing and CRM processes, and start targeted outbound outreach using the pilots as case studies.
Quick risk note. Don't underestimate local discharge rules. Don't promise turnaround you can't deliver, and don't scale before your SOPs are repeatable. Mitigate those by calling regulators early, setting conservative SLAs in your contracts, and freezing hiring until your pilot KPIs are consistent for at least 60 days. Those 3 steps protect margins and reputation. Final push. If you're running a service business or managing a fleet, you already have the assets and the relationships to turn downtime into dependable revenue. Start small, document everything, and lean on simple social proof to open doors. You don't need $1 million truck to begin. You need repeatable process, clear pricing, and the discipline to track real job data.
If today's episode brought you value, here's what I want you to do next. Post one before and after photo from a pilot or test, tag our show on LinkedIn or Instagram with the handle @Veteran Entrepreneur Network, and tell us what your biggest operational blocker was in the post. I read as many as I can, and I'll share the best wins so others can learn. Real-world business, real strategies, real results.
Thanks for listening to the Veteran Entrepreneur Network. If today's episode brought you value, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share the podcast with another entrepreneur, owner-operator, or business professional. Keep building, keep learning, and keep moving forward. We'll see you on the next episode.